Okay, it's November 3rd. It's about close to 1 o'clock, and I will just shoot the final video of the day, recapping the stocks that I traded for today and what developed. It really wasn't a bad day at all, given that everything didn't move my way. It's also Fed decision day coming up here, so that's why maybe it's holding the market back. The Dow is down 140 points, so it's a tricky day in terms of maybe follow through from that standpoint. But I look to take my gains early in the morning anyway, before such decisions are made, or just in general. I'm always looking to take gains early, and I'll show you why. Like Uber is a good example of why I look to do that. But let's just go over the stocks quickly, recap what happened, and kind of actually I want to look at the context of why I looked at these stocks compared to other stocks as well. So Apple was disappointing today. Real quickly, I bought on this first bar. It kind of paused a little bit. I was getting nervous here on bar 3, and it tried to curl up, but then once it started making a red bar, I took a small loss. As it turns out, it only came down to the midpoint of that first bar and try to curl up. So you could have hung in there because it was very small risk here, even with this second red bar. But then once it kind of came up and couldn't begin to attack the intraday high on the first bar, it made a red bar. You had to get out. So I'm calling this a small loss either way. I took it early just as a way to reduce risk, but it ended up not being a good follow-through day anyway. Facebook didn't. I got in again early again on this one, as you recall, and it just kind of paused. If this one would have broken down, I probably would have taken a small loss here too. As it turns out, it tried to curl up, but it really hasn't followed through. And now it's sitting here with the Fed decision coming up. It might break higher because the pattern still looks good, but you never know. So this is, if anything, let's just call it a break-even trade. It could be a very small gain right here, but it really is frustrating to hold this stuff, all the way through. So once this thing started going up and then kind of paused, to me, it was a break-even trade. That's what I did, but the pattern is still looking possibly good to go higher. But, like I said, I like to exit in the morning. But the other two stocks did very well. Netflix, as you recall, I was very interested in buying it. I ended up getting here on bar 2. It went up, paused, and now it's made another leg up. So that's just a classic good-looking trade, good-looking chart. This pause here is very orderly, and then push to new highs, which you expect when you see that on a good stock. And Uber, this is again why getting out early on a lot of these trades is very beneficial, because a lot of times the stock makes its big move in the morning, and that's the high or low of the day. In this case, I got in on bar number 3. It did pause a little bit after entry, but then it immediately turned green and then went up for 4 bars, and it reached that target that I had mentioned, which was the overnight highs here. I mean, the overnight high, and that was really a nice window for 4. That it ended up happening in 4 bars to get out from entry to exit. So again, it's 2 winners and a break-even trade and a small loss. So that's actually a very good day. You're not going to get 5, great winners every single time, although that's possible. But then the context, just to show you, Facebook, I like it here because what you have here is actually, this is a bad tick on this day. I'm looking at the daily chart. What happened was the stock's gone up for 3 days, and then it's kind of pausing. For yesterday, it just kind of paused at yesterday's low, and today it actually pushed off yesterday's lows. To me, I see that as consolidation right here at these lows for 3 days, and that's why I wanted to get in early on when I saw it start lower and then start up. So to me, it looked like it was just nicely bouncing off support down here, and that's the context here. After kind of moving up for 3 days and pausing, I expect another leg up. Apple is similar in the sense that you have a nice green day here yesterday, so you expect follow through. The stock is starting to trend higher. I expected it to test yesterday's high on this green day. It hasn't done it, but that's why I like that. Netflix is a very good stock at this point. Again, 2 days red, just nice consolidation here for the last 2 days, and it started up above the midpoint of this red day. So this consolidation looks like it's going to eventually head higher above 700. So I wanted to definitely trade that one, and that's why you had to, I was excited on the good opening that was above the overnight action here. That was just a classic setup, actually. And Uber is just one that popped up. It was gapping up today after a nice move yesterday. Well, nice move yesterday, but then it did have well, yesterday it was essentially after hours it moved up strong and then it went sideways. So I like that on the first move down and then it started higher. That should have attacked that high. So on the daily chart, the way this thing plots, it looks like it was yesterday's green day, but really that was overnight action. So you expect that high to be tested at a minimum, and that's why that was. Lyft was also another stock that was, in that category doing the same thing. So anyway, just wanted to show you the context. Good day of trading. Again, 2 winners, break even, a small loss. That's perfectly fine day. So we'll see what happens tomorrow.